You're in. Come on in the room. LPN. Okay. Just prerequisites for right now. That's okay. That's okay. You on your way. You are on your way. Got my clickety clackety. Y'all come on in. I appreciate the shares, the likes, stimulate. Oh, how cool. Thank you. I appreciate the likes, the shares, stimulating the algorithm. Appreciate it. So we can let these folks know that we are in here studying. Study Buddy Sunday with Nursey. A blessed RN. BSN in January. Okay. Come on, BSN in January. Are you graduating in January? Or you starting in January? Hold on. I appreciate you so much. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you too. Y'all come on in. Let's get this thing going. It's been a long weekend. How are y'all doing? How are you doing? Let's you starting. Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say. Go ahead. Gotcha. How are you all doing? Yes, I'm in the RN program now. I have dosage calculation exam tomorrow. Miss Chica 78, who is on YouTube, says, well, what's going to be on the test? Hopefully it's some of the questions that we're going over tonight. And yes, we are live on TikTok right now and YouTube. So once we get done studying and there are questions that you want to review or go back over, then you can head on to my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN. My name is the same on all socials, except for Instagram. You got to put a dot in between a.blessed.rn. Awesome. So yeah, take advantage of it and go back and review what you need to. Take my med surge too, Hesse, in the morning. Okay. All right, Keisha, you got that. You got that. I got a test tomorrow too. 5 questions. Five? Just five? Wow. I'm not in the nursing program yet, but I watch your YouTube. Helps with my math. Okay, cool. Awesome. You got to make 100. You got that, Kenyatta. You've got that. Miss Azaria Holly, thank you for this. I just started my BSN program. I'm level 1. Okay, you're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm all excited for everybody's journey wherever you are. Just know that this won't last long. You know what I'm saying? Nursing school is a drop in the bucket of your whole nursing career. Get through it. You can do it. It's tough. You taking care of a real live person. It's going to be tough, but you can do it though. And especially dosage calculations, because guess what? I make it easy as cookies and puzzles. So if you don't know me, I'm Nurse C, a blessed RN. I help nursing students, pre-med, med, pharmacy, respiratory, all kinds of health science majors who are in school, and we go over dosage calculations. Here, I mostly do dimensional analysis. But it does need to be scary though. I feel like I didn't, well, to be transparent, I did not like dimensional analysis in school, but now I think it's the best thing since sliced bread because you can do all of your problems, almost all. I'm gonna say almost because it's never good to have a whole like generalization, right? Because there are a couple of examples where you can't use it because you have to use formulas, but for everything else you can do it the same way. So you'll see as we study tonight how I have a systemic approach. We're going to read the problem, we find the goal. That goal is our picture that's on the puzzle box, and then we pick out the information. Those are our puzzle pieces, and our pieces have to fit together so that they look like the goal that's on the puzzle box, and that is achieved by putting your units on the top, your units on the bottom, and crossing it out as you go. Then once we get that equation to look like the goal, we do some multiplication and division, and that's it. And y'all can do that, all right? Yours is 20 questions and you have to score a 90 to pass. Okay, you got that. All right, let me go back over here. I'm on 2 screens. Okay, I take my third final attempt for dosage on Wednesday and I'm ready to pass. Okay, that real diamond. You got this, girly. Um, you passed. Hey, turn up. Oh, love it, man. Math quiz tomorrow. Okay, let's do this, Ebony. Hey, Emily. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and connect my screen to the iPad. So we start off a little bit slower with some conversions, and then we get into the harder things. Okay, so let's get to it. All right, so can everybody see? We good? All right, let's do it. 1.5 grams equals how many micrograms? Okay, so what is our goal? What is this asking me to find? Yes, it'll be on YouTube. It sure will. It's on YouTube now, so hey, YouTubers. And then once we get done studying, it will be available. Sure will. All right, so what is this asking for us to find? It's asking us to find how many micrograms there are, right? So that's my goal, micrograms. So what are my puzzle pieces? Exactly. My puzzle pieces are, I know I have 1.5 grams. Okay, so that came from the problem. And then we need to know a couple of conversions, right? Because can you just go from a gram to a microgram? I mean, if you did the King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk and all that stuff, you could. But that's not what we're doing right now, right? So we know that 1 gram equals what? 1,000 milligrams. And then we know that 1 milligram equals 1,000 micrograms. I just did a video the other day kind of breaking it down to show you the pieces between milligram, and microgram using a cookie. So that's why I say it's easy as cookies and puzzles, right? So we know that 1,000, that microgram is really small dust, right? And you gather that all together, that makes 1 milligram crumb. Then you gather 1,000 milligram crumbs to make 1 cookie. And then if you have 1,000 cookies in a package, that's your kilogram. So 1 kg is 1,000 grams. 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. So from biggest to smallest. Okay. So I always start with what I'm looking for. A lot of people do like dimensional analysis because they don't know how to set the problem up. If that's your issue, put a 1 in the chat for me. Okay, I see some 1s. All right. So the way that Nurse C, A plus RN, does her dimensional analysis, and a lot more other people who have come on here passing with 90s, 95s, and 100s, is that we start with what we're looking for. If you start with what you're looking for, you don't have to go and find it. So that first unit, which is going to be microgram, because that's our goal, everything else has to cross out except for the microgram. So we're going to look for our puzzle piece with microgram in it. That's the first thing we'll set up, and it'll be on the top. Okay, so this has micrograms in it, right? Start with what we're looking for. So it'll be 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. And a puzzle piece is a puzzle piece is a puzzle piece. It doesn't matter which way you reposition it, that puzzle piece still stays the same. It's just in a different position. It's the same thing with your equations. Or if you have a concentration from the problem that's your drug, it's just flipped. And you can flip it, okay? So now we've got milligram at the bottom. That's not part of our goal because we already got the goal. So we know that everything else has to cross out. So we'll take our puzzle piece with the milligrams in it right there, boom, and we'll put it on the top so that it'll cross out with our milligrams on the bottom. So 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram, okay? And now I've got grams at the bottom. I need grams at the top. So it'll be 1.5 grams over 1. Our grams crosses out, and everything is now gone except for micrograms, okay? All right, so now that everything is gone, we're going to multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, and then divide the top by the bottom. Do you kind of see how we went with that? Starting with what we're looking for, setting our problems up with their units are on the top and on the bottom, and they cross out, and everything is gone except for your goal. So now we'll do 1,000 times 1,000 times 1.5, and that will be micrograms. 1,500,000. Okay? How we feeling? We're going to do all of our problems like this tonight. All the ones that we can do. Because I think I did a fluid volume maintenance. See, I got that and thought it was wrong. Well, why did you think it was wrong? You got to have trust in yourself. Believe in your first gut. Because that's what a lot of people do on these nursing exams. Y'all like to go back and change answers. And then when you get them back to review, you're like, on these nursing exams, y'all like to go back and change answers. And then when you get them back to review, you're like, dang, I got that wrong. No, go with your first answer and leave it because it's such a large number. But think about it. If you've got 1.5 grams, right? That's that big old cookie. If you crush it down into then the crumbs, then that's the milligrams. And then you crush all of the milligrams down, that's your crumbs. So those are the really, really, really small pieces. So you need a whole bunch of small pieces to come together to make that big cookie, right? So it makes sense. You said you're guilty. You're guilty of changing your answer. Yeah, y'all leave those answers alone. Say, I trust yourself. If you, and see with dimensional analysis, if you got all of your puzzle pieces and your units lined up and crossed out, you can't help but see that everything is gone except for what you're looking for, which is why I like it too. It's good for people who don't have a really strong suit in math. Like I did. I hated this way. I'm not gonna lie. I was a pharm tech before I was a nurse, so I was mathing it, and I didn't understand because it was complicated and complex. So I knew what to pick out and what to put and all that. But if you don't, every single time we'll find our goal, find our puzzle pieces, and line our units up. That's it. Okay. So do you want us to say the answers we get as we work them or just wait on you? Either way, you can put them in the chat. All right, so boom, we got 6.5 cups equals how many milliliters? I start my program October the 3rd, and I figured I'd try to learn all this ahead of time. Okay, KV, we'll stay right here. All right, so what are we looking to find here? What is our goal? What is this asking me to find? Milliliters, right? All right. So what are my puzzle pieces? I know I've got 6.5 cups, and I've got to go to milliliters, okay? So what conversions do I need? Okay, so I know that 1 cup equals what? 8 ounces, right? So then I know I can go from an ounce to a milliliter. So I know that 1 ounce equals 30 milliliters. All right, so I've got all my puzzle pieces because I've got cups, ounces, and milliliters. I go from one step to the other. So if I'm looking for a milliliter, I'm going to pick that puzzle piece with the milliliter in it. It's going to be first, and the milliliters are going to go on the top because that's what I'm looking for. Start with what you're looking for. You don't have to go and find it. All right, so boom. We'll do 30 milliliters is 1 ounce. So we know that ounce is not a part of the goal. It has to go. So I need to cross it out with something, right? So now I've got 8 ounces is 1 cup. My ounces cross out. And now I've got cup at the bottom. It's not part of the goal. So it has to go. So now I've got 6.5 cups. And because it's not equal to anything, it's just by itself. And it's okay for some of the information to be by itself. I say they're living single. So you just put it over 1. So anything over 1 is going to be what? Itself. So it doesn't mess with the math of the equation, right? And it's just a placeholder to show you that, hey, this goes on that top number of top row of numbers that you need to multiply. All right, so boom, everything is gone except for what we were looking for. So now we can do the math, okay? Let's do 30 times 8 times 6.5. And that's going to be 1,560 milliliters. My practice exam is Tuesday. Okay. You love dosage calc? I love dosage calc as well. I sure do. We have the exact same handwriting and it tripped me out scrolling. Oh, wow. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so did y'all get that? Do you see how we're lining this up and we're crossing out units? If you're not writing your units by your numbers when you're doing calculations, you're doing yourself a great disservice. How do you know what units you're going to start with? How do you know what units are going to cross out if you're not writing it by it? Stop trying to take shortcuts. Because once you get faster at this, it like you can go. You hear me? Like you can really go. Because a lot of people are like, well, it just seems so long. After you have to practice these. But after you get the hang of it, it kind of gets addicting up there crossing out stuff, right? So you must write your units by your numbers. And after you do the math, once you get that number, you must write this because they will take off points. And I would hate for you to get so far and do the math right and then they don't give you the points because you didn't label, okay? So basically, we are to always start with the goal. Boom, you got it, TJ. That's how we do it. You start with what you're looking for. You don't have to go find it. Everything else will then line up to cross out, okay? 1 cup also equals 240 milliliters. Yes, Carly. So if you knew that 1 cup equals 240 milliliters, then you could just start with your 240 milliliters is 1 cup. Then you put your 6.5 cups over 1, and that's it. But if you didn't know that 1 cup equals 240 milliliters, but you knew that it equals 8 ounces, you see, you could do it either way. Whatever way works, as long as the units on the top and the bottom cross out and you're left with your goal, the math is gonna math. Okay. All right. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. All right. Boom. So we got a couple more conversion problems and we'll get to some harder stuff. I got some IV drip stuff coming, some military time stuff coming, some weight-based stuff, and those are my favorite, all right? So if you got a baby and that baby is 14 pounds and 5 ounces, we need to know how many kilograms they are. How are we going to do this? So is there a direct conversion of ounces and pounds to kilograms? No. We know that we can go from pounds to kgs because 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. So when you see these like in your pediatric problems, what you'll have to do is convert your ounces to pounds, add your like terms, which will be your pounds, and then you can go to kgs, okay? So we're going to change this into pounds. So what is our conversion? So we're looking for pounds. We know that we have 5 ounces, right? And we know that 1 pound equals 16 ounces. So if I'm setting up my problem, I'm looking for pounds, I'll put it on top. So 1 pound is 16 ounces. And then I have my 5 ounces right here. So use that. Now I've used that. Ounces crosses out. I'll do 5 divided by 16. 5 divided by 16, and that's 0.3125, right? So now that's pounds. So then we can add our pounds that we know about, 14 pounds, right? So 14 pounds. So our new weight would be 14.3125 pounds. So now we can go to kilograms because we know that 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. If you don't know any other conversion, you're going to need to know that one. You need to know all of them. But 1 kg is 2.2 pounds, okay? So if we are looking for kilograms, we've got our pounds, which is 14.3125. And we know that 1 kg equals 2.2 pounds. So if I'm looking for kgs, what do I start with? what it is that I'm looking for. And y'all might get tired of me asking the same question and as we do it step by step, but I'm trying to get you to see. Okay, we're doing this the exact same way for all of these types of problems. So 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Okay, now I'll put my pounds on the top. 14.3125 pounds. And I'll put it over 1 because it's by itself. My pounds crosses out and I'm left with kgs. So we'll do 14.3125 divided by 2.2. And that's going to be 6.50 something something. So we'll leave it at 6.5 kgs. Does this make sense? If it's making sense on how we're setting up our dimensional analysis, put a 1 in the chat. If it's still a little bit cloudy, put a 2. Jennifer Fuentes. So we do dimensional analysis. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Yes, you saved my life. Oh Lord. Oh, thank God for the change. All right. Okay, and for those who put it to, what is still a little bit unclear? Because we're going to be doing this the same way. So sometimes it takes a minute for the light bulb to click off. I love a good light bulb moment too. All right. And if it's making sense for you, double tap. Let's stimulate the algorithm. We got a whole bunch of nursing students all across the U.S. Y'all let me know where you're tuning in from. And we want everybody else to get on this dimensional analysis or dosage calculation train. Okay. I should have joined earlier, Shalisha. We just started, but you can look at the replay that's on YouTube, okay? Our class just gave us a book and we have to learn it. Oh, well, come on in. Just come on in the room. So we need to learn about the conversions. Okay, will the formula always be the same? So it's not a formula. It's a method. A formula is like this, and this. We're just using conversions and going from step to step with our units and crossing them out. I'm still learning dimensional analysis. I've gotten used to desired over half. So desired over half is cool. It's all these Alabama folks in here. Hey y'all, shout out Bama. So desired over half is cool. It works for the simple stuff. But when you get to the harder ones, like the one that's coming up at the end, you're going to be like, what is desire? And what do you have? Like, what? So then it's easier to do it with these puzzle pieces. But whatever way that it works for you, stick with it. And I wouldn't recommend bouncing from one method to the other, because when you do your practice, you practice the same way every single time. And that's how you get more efficient. That's how you get more confident. And that's how you get more comfortable. Setting up the problem. You need the light bulb to come on. School is teaching the formula method. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're going to get through it, y'all. We're going to get through it. I love nurses who continue to teach. Okay, heart you too. All right. We got a lot of Southeast folks in here tonight, but that's all right. All right, Mississippi. Oh, Toronto. You're in Canada. Okay, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Louisiana. All right. So who likes fractions? Who likes fractions? Minnesota, Miami, New York. Okay, Cali. That's the mecca of nursing right there. Let me mess around and get a Cali license. Lord, have mercy. You said absolutely not. You don't like fractions? Well, sometimes you might see them, but I don't want you to be afraid of them, okay? Because it's going to work the same way. The way I just ran to the store to get a calculator because I don't want it to keep clicking off. Oh my gosh. All right, Kiki. So listen, we have a mixed fraction, right? So mixed fraction, I see you, California, Miss Chica. We have a mixed fraction. We need to turn this into an improper fraction. So the way that we're going to change this fraction from mixed to improper is going to be by multiplying the whole number, which is 5 in this case, by the denominator, which would be 15. And then we're going to add the numerator, which is 2. So that's going to be 17. And we're going to keep this same denominator. Okay, so we put it all over 3. So you multiply the big number by the bottom number, then you add the top number, and that's it. For more practice like this and T's math, Hesse math, check out my girl Jakara Lewis. She's on here, T's Test Math Prep Goat. I always have to like break it down. And she also has a YouTube channel, Jakara Lewis, JAKARALEWIS. Lewis. Yes. All right. So this is our new fraction. So now we're going from cups to milliliters, right? So our goal is to find milliliters. So our new puzzle piece that we've just converted was 17 thirds, right? So then we need to know our conversions. Once again, we know that 1 cup equals 8 ounces, and then I know that 1 ounce equals 30 ml. Okay, so I'm starting with what it is that I'm looking for, which is my goal, milliliter. So that's this puzzle piece right here. I start with what I'm looking for. It's first and it's on top. So we'll do 30 ml over 1 ounce. Next, we've got ounces at the bottom. Okay, and we put ounces at the top. So 8 ounces is 1 cup. Your ounces crosses out, and now you've got cups at the bottom. Now, how do you do the fraction? Don't you got 17 on the top and 3 on the bottom? So keep it the same way. 17 thirds of cups, and your cups crosses out. So now you'll multiply that top row of numbers, then multiply that bottom row of numbers, and then you divide the top by the bottom. So we'll do 30 times 8 times 17, which is this number right here. And then 1 times 1 times 3 is 3. So divide that by 3, and we get 1,360 milliliters. Ooh, you got it. Look at it. Look at it. Great breakdown. Thank you, Portia. What part of Bama are you from? Dang, the fraction got me. No, don't let it get you. Don't let it get you. Okay, so you see, once again, same steps, same way. Cusada. Oh, I don't know what that is. I'm in Springfield, right outside of Birmingham. Where is that? North, South, Central? Where is that by? What is it by? All right. The way you show this fraction breakdown is awesome. I got it. See, we don't got to be scared of stuff. We don't have to be scared of things. Y'all see stuff. Oh, Montgomery Prattville. Okay, cool. I was down that way last Wednesday. I'm so slow when it comes to math. It's okay. So with the fractions, you always times it by the big number. Yes. So you have the whole number, which is the big number, and your denominator. And you can't remember denominator and numerator. Think D down, denominator. So 5. So that was the big number times the bottom number. Then add the top number, and you keep it all over that denominator. It does not change. You're in Birmingham today, McCalla. Okay. I'm going to be everywhere tomorrow because we got to take these patients to where they need to go. All right. Well, no, I'm going to be in the office. So an infusion of normal saline is started at 2:30. Well, 02:30, right? And it's set to run for 7 hours and 45 minutes. At what time in military time will the infusion be complete? Okay, so this one, we're not even going to have to use dimensional analysis. All we need is some addition, okay? So we're going to be adding time. So we want to know, if you start this at 2:30 in the morning, that was my shift. How many of y'all want to work night shift? That was my shift right there. Once I went to the dark side, oh, I didn't go back. I love the way you explain it, simple terms. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Because it's just us. This is just us. I'd rather you ask all your questions, get your frustrations, get some clarity here, and then go rock it on the test. And then come back so I can press Control 2 and clap it up for you, right? Okay? So, how did that end up coming out? Okay, Apple Pencil, cut it out. All right, so boom. If we start at, I don't even like how that looks now. If we start at 02:30, in the morning, okay? And this is set to run 7 hours and 45 minutes. We're going to add 7 hours and 45 minutes, right? So if you just looked at this and you added it just plainly, by itself, you would get what, 75 and 9, right? But that's not a time, is it? In real life, that's not military time. So the way that we will do this is we're going to take our original time and see how close it is to the next hour. So we're halfway through the hour, right? So we need to add 30 minutes to make it to 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So I'm going to add 30 minutes. So you see that this side is the minute side, this side is the hour side. So I'm going to add 30 minutes. So now we're at 3 o'clock. So I'm going to take my time that I have for it to run, and I'm going to just subtract 30 minutes from here. So I added the 30 minutes here, and I'm going to subtract it from here. So I'll still have 7 hours and 15 minutes left. So now if I got 300, I can add 7 hours and 15 minutes to it, and it makes sense, doesn't it? All right. Oh, my one got cut off. So if we add 15 over there on the minutes, and then 3 plus 7 is going to be 10. So then our end time is going to be 10:15. It's just simple addition and subtraction. That's it. You said day shift is ghetto and it's too much drama. It's a little busy. Oops, that's where I always go, not reading the whole question, military time, okay? So 10:15 would be where we end. Y'all down there in Wetumpka, that's where I got my Vans from. I had to go down there. You love night shifts. I do too. Does this make sense though? How we kind of borrowed the 30 minutes to make it go to the next hour so that when you added it, it wasn't an outrageous number. Now, if you can add 30, 45 minutes, 30 plus 45 and carry the one and know that you have to change that to 15 minutes, then all means keep it like that. But if you can't see it like that, because for some people time is a little off, you know what I'm saying? It's a little iffy. So I just added. So if it was 2:45, I would add 15 minutes and just take 15 minutes from my original time and then add it on as I got into the next hour. Okay. Simple stuff. We got this. All right. Moving on. All right, here we go. Calculate the 24-hour fluid volume maintenance for a child weighing 28 kilograms. All right, so for those of you who are OB and peds or want to be an OB or peds or NICU nurse, this is for you, right? So fluid volume maintenance is how much fluid will we need to maintain the vascular space in a 24-hour period. So there are 3 formulas that there have been scientifically proven to be fit, right? So if you are 10 kgs or less, you would get 100 milliliters per kilogram. If you are 11 kgs to 20 kgs, you would get that 1,000 milliliters plus 50 milliliters per kilogram. If you are 21 kgs or more, you would get 1,500 milliliters plus 20 milliliters per kilogram. And this part right here is for your kgs that are greater than 10 kg. And this is for greater than 20 kg. So they want you to memorize these formulas, but you know how I am about formulas. We're not going to do that. So I will show you both methods, okay? So we got a patient that weighs 28 kgs. So that's going to be this this part right here, right? So if we did it with the formula part, we know that it'll be 1,500 milliliters plus 20 milliliters per kilogram for the body weight that's over 20 kilograms. So we got 28 kilograms, okay? So what we'll do is take 28 kilograms minus our 20 kilograms. So that means we have 8 kgs left, and that is what goes in this part of the problem. So it'll be 20 milliliters times your over kg times your 8 kgs over 1. Your kilograms crosses out. 20 times 8, I believe, is 160 milliliters. And so you just add your 1,500 ml plus your 160 ml, and that's going to be 1,660 milliliters, and that's for the whole day. Now, that looks a little bit kind of a lot, doesn't it? Right? You can say right. It does. So what we'll do is we'll show you how to break it down another way. All right. So remember, for that first 10 kgs, it was 100 milliliters, right? That second kgs, it was the 50 milliliters, right? And then everything over the 20, it was the 20 milliliters. So what we'll do is break this down by 10, 10, and then the rest of the weight. So if I've got kgs, 28 kgs, I'll take my first 10 kgs and we'll multiply that by 100. My second 10, and we'll multiply that by 50. And then the rest of it is going to be 8. So you see all of this adds up to my 28, and we'll times that by 20. So remember, you will have the 10, the second 10, and then the rest of it. So we automatically know that that's 1,000. This is going to be 500, and then this is going to be 160. So you get 1,660 mLs. So which way do you like better? Memorizing all of those formulas, or doing the 10, 10 rest and then doing your 100, 50, and 20? The second way, you like both? That's so much easier. That one. Yeah. Yeah. I like that one. I mean, it lives in my head because I do it often. But if it's a lot, you stressed out, you got anxiety, you got high tensions, you trying to make this 100, and you're like, yeah. So break it down by 10, and then the rest. And you know that first 10 is 100, 50, 20. And you just add them all together, and that's that. Yay. All right. Moving on. A provider orders morphine sulfate 2 milligrams IV push once. The pharmacy has sent a vial of morphine sulfate 1 milligram per milliliter. The recommended dose increment is to be administered 2 milligrams per 3 minutes. How many seconds per increment will you administer the ordered dose of medicine? Okay. The second one, so after, I'm sorry, I didn't see your question, Alondra. The second one after the 210 and the rest left over is always 20. Hold on. It's like, wait a minute, let's go back. So you have your 28 kgs, and we're going to break it down by 10s in the rest. Okay, so we've got 10, then you've got 10 more, so that's 20, and then we're left with 8. So the first 10 is times 100 mLs, the second one is times 50 mLs, and then the third one is times 20 mLs. So it's always 100, 50, 20. the first 2 tens, and then whatever it's left over. And sometimes you don't get to the 20. So if they were 18 kgs, it would be 10 kgs and then 8. What is 70 kgs times 2.2? That's 154 pounds. So this is usually used for pediatrics, if that makes sense. So, yeah. it only goes up so high. But I mean, if you were going according to the formula, yeah, they would still get like all the rest of that times 20. But yes, they use this for peds, so the numbers are pretty low. Okay. All right. So back to this one. All right, so this one is a little different. It's a little funky because we're talking about dose increments. So what is going on in the question? You've got morphine, 2 milligrams. IVP means IV push. You're going to hook it up to your patient's IV and just push it in. It's not going to go via drip, 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 drip. It's just going to be pushed in. And so it's telling us that you can give 2 milligrams every 3 minutes. Okay, so the pharmacy gave you this vial and it's got 1 milligram per milliliter in it. And we want to know how many seconds in one increment do you push your medicine, okay? So that's what's going on. So if we're asking about seconds and how long it's going to take to give this ordered amount, do you think we need how many milliliters that we're going to push in? It's asking for seconds. That's where your goal kind of comes in, okay? Your goal is going to help you to answer these questions. Nothing more and nothing less, okay? So we're looking for seconds. So we know that what's ordered is 2 milligrams. What is the increment is 2 milligrams per 3 minutes, okay? And so we are looking for how many seconds. So we need to know a conversion, right? So if we have minutes, we know that 1 minute is what? 60 seconds? Hey, Amara, just a couple of problems. Just a couple of them. We did time. Okay, hey, Kazoo. It's good to see you as well. All right. So we got all our puzzle pieces. Boom. And it's okay to list your puzzle pieces to the side. Nobody ain't gonna snatch a paper up and like, you can't list your puzzle pieces. I feel like this is easier for you to have the information that you're gonna use instead of going back and forth inside the problem when you already stressed, you already unsure, and you're trying to figure it out. So you're like, what is this? Put the puzzle pieces on the side. Now you can put your stuff together. Cross it out as you go, okay? So we're looking for seconds. Then what are we going to start with? Seconds, right? This puzzle piece right here has our seconds in it. 60 seconds is 1 minute. All right. Boom. So we got minutes at the bottom. I need minutes at the top. All right. So we've got 3 minutes is 2 milligrams. Because that's the increment right there. You give the medicine in 3-minute increments. All right. Now, this is the ordered amount. That 2 milligrams. And it's just by itself. Your milligrams crossed out and we are left with seconds. All right. So we'll do 60 times 3 times 2 divided by 2. So that's 180 seconds per increment. Can you go over the conversions again? 2 milligram per minute. Okay, you said never mind. All right, Gia. All right. So you see, same method, same puzzle pieces, same goals. Now, here's what everybody loves. Drops per minute. Why did I go backwards? Because I was looking for seconds. I always start with what it is that I'm looking for. Hold on. We got some questions. Let's back it on up. Hey. So, we're looking for seconds. Okay. Let me put this on here. Seconds. So if I'm looking for something, that's what's going to go first. And that's what's going to go on the top every single time. Okay. So I know that 60 seconds is in 1 minute. Then I had my puzzle piece with the minutes in it. So 3 minutes went on top of my 2 milligrams. Because if you have a puzzle piece, that puzzle piece is that puzzle piece. If you move it around, flip it, put it down, put it up, it's still that puzzle piece. So it still equals each other. It's just repositioned. So we put minute on the top, so our minute on the bottom crosses out. That's the name of the game. We want everything to cross out except for what we're looking for. And we start with what we're looking for, so then we don't have to find it. We know that everything else that comes after it has to go on the bottom, has to go on the top, so that they cross out. Boom. So then we've got our 2 milligrams that was ordered. And is this asking us for how many milliliters per second or whatever? No. So this right here is pure fluff. Nice to know. We're trying to see how fast this needs to go. It's not asking us for milliliters. And that's how you use your goal to pick out some of the fluff, especially in your IV questions, okay? And you're welcome. I like that you starting with the goal. I was sure with starting with the 2 milligrams per one. I start what I'm looking for. You don't have to go and find it. Every single time. It just works. Couldn't you do 60 seconds times 3 and get the same answer? Yep. But if this one was like, say if the ordered amount was different, so say if it was like 2.5 milligrams or if it was 4, it would be different because the 2's cross out in this case. But if it wasn't a 2, then it wouldn't work, if that makes sense. Is this the only method to do this problem? I'm sure you could probably set it with ratio and proportion. Okay, I'm trying to see what are we saying in the comments. Why all the extra? Bethany, it's not extra because if it was different with the ordered amount, then it would be different with just because the 2's crossed out. So it depends on what the ordered dose is, if that makes sense. Yeah, but I don't understand the minute to milligram conversion. So the recommended dose, so like the drug book tells us that you can give 2 milligrams per 3 minutes. So they want to know how many seconds it is for each increment. So we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to give 1 milligram and 2 milligrams in 180 seconds a piece. So that's what the increment means, right? So that's why we're setting it up to see how many seconds, because that is what the question is asking. They ask some pretty crazy stuff, but we're going to give them what they ask for. Nothing more, nothing less. And this method, even if you don't have the slightest bit of a clue on how to do math, you can still get the answer, if that makes sense. So it seems like it's extra, but it's a foolproof way to get your answer and not get it wrong because all of your elements come together that are needed. We didn't need that 1 milligram per milliliter because it's not asking us anything to do with the milliliter. If it doesn't have anything to do with it, you don't need it. It'll be fluff. And you know these problems can be fluffed up. Okay? All right. I hope everybody got their question answered on this one. I'm loving this. Yay! I'm doing my last rotation. I almost graduate. Come on. Would this be on the HESI? I don't know. I didn't have to take HESI. I've been a nurse for like 14 years. So when we were going in, we took the ACT, took our prereqs. They gave us points for, ABC or whatever we got in the class, and that was it. I don't think it should be. I don't know. Y'all help her out. Is this on the HESI? All right, so boom. A provider orders lactated ringer, that's LR, 1,000 mLs to infuse over 8 hours. You have a micro drip set available for administration. How many drops per minute will the nurse set as the flow rate? All right, so let's talk about IV drips for a minute, okay? Because a lot of people freak out about them. You could give a IV two ways. You can give it on the pump, or you can give it via gravity. This right here is via gravity. It is evidenced by first that you have a drop factor or a micro drip set, and then it's asking you how many drops per minute. If it was on a pump, it would be milliliters per hour. Okay, so when you have a micro drip set, you're like, what in the heck is the drop factor? Because the drop factor is how many drops that are in that little chamber that you squeeze to give 1 milliliter of solution or medicine, right? So there is only one micro drip set, okay? And that is 60. That means it takes 60 little teeny tiny drops to fall to give 1 milliliter. Now there are several macro drip sets. So those 10, 20, 15, it takes 10, 20, or 15 big fat juicy drops to give 1 milliliter versus micro, remember tiny, micro, 60 small drops. And you usually use those in like NICU and peds, okay? Boom. So yes, if you see something that says micro drip set, automatically that's 60 drops per milliliter. So what is our goal? Okay, Apple Pencil, you tripping, acting up in front of company. All right, go. Drops per minute. Okay, so what are our puzzle pieces? In any IV flow rate problem, we need to know the volume of medicine or solution over the infusion time, how long it takes to put it in the patient's veins. So we're looking for volume over time. Now, once you get these questions that's super fluffed up with these medicines that have grams and milligrams and milliequivalents and all this and all that and the third, you're going to freak out. But then you're going to remember, I'm looking for volume. So how much needs to go into the patient over how long, okay? So it says that we have 1,000 milliliters to infuse over 8 hours. It literally tells you to put 1,000 over 8, okay? So that's our volume, our flow rate. So 1,000 ml over 8 hours. And then our drip factor, remember we said the micro drip set was going to be 60 GTT per ml, okay? So boom, let's do it. If I'm looking for drops, what am I going to start with? Y'all are quiet. Thank you. So we'll start with So we'll start with that puzzle piece right there. 60 drops per ml. Next, we've got milliliter on the bottom. So I need milliliter on the top, right? That's this puzzle piece. So we'll do 1,000 milliliters over 8 hours. Cross your units out as you go. That's how you know how to set up these problems and what comes next. So if you're having a problem with setting your problems up, like a lot of y'all said up above, start with what you're looking for, look at your goal, and then do your units next. Cross them out as you go. All right. So boom, milliliters cross out. Now I've got hour at the bottom. I need minute at the bottom according to my goal, right? So I'll put 1 hour is 60 minutes. So my hours crosses out, and now we have drop per minute. Goal. All right. So boom, 60 times 1,000 divided by 8 divided by 60. So that's going to be 125 drops per minute. Yay! You must have gotten it right. So what do y'all think? We're still doing it the same way, the same method every single time. Except for that little funky fluid volume maintenance one. That was different. Please keep reviewing this. Okay, I think I got another one. Drops the mic. I ain't gonna drop my pen because it's already acting up. Any questions? If y'all are liking the live session, y'all double tap that screen for me. Appreciate it. Where did the 60 come from? So, this right here is the drip set. This is the tubing that's available because we're not putting this in an IV pump. We got to go by gravity. So a micro drip set, there is only one micro drip set, and that's going to be 60 drops per milliliter. It takes 60 small drops to fall in that chamber and give 1 milliliter of solution or medicine. Okay. Could we do the formula method for this? Yes. You're such a good teacher giving a follow. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to help the young ones. I'm not old, but I'm not young either. I don't know. I'm not auntie yet. I don't think I'm auntie. I don't know. Anywho, so look, this is how you do it with the formula. So the formula is going to be your volume in milliliters over your time in minutes. This is the part right there. So if you got hours, you have to convert, okay? And then we multiply that by your drop factor, which is always going to be drops per milliliter, okay? So I'm going to erase the top part and we'll show you how to put in the formula. So our volume was what? 1000 ml, right? Over 8 hours. So what's that? 8 times 60, right? It's 480. All right, boom. So then we will multiply that by 60 drops per ml because that's your drop factor. So volume, time over minutes times your drop factor. So 1000. So I'm doing it the same way to show you. 1000 times 60 divided by 480, and that's going to be 125 drops per minute. Do not forget to label. Okay, y'all have gone too fast. Thank y'all for the gifts. It's not required, but greatly appreciated. The only one I knew how to do. Stop, Kiki. You can do all of them. You do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Okay. What other kinds of drip sets are there? So macro drip sets, like they'll have what's listed like 10, 15, 20, whatever. If it's not micro drip, what would it be? I think I just answered that one too. 60 drops, fill up 1 milliliter. Yes. You're welcome. So that's how you would do formula. Like I said, y'all got too much stuff to remember with med-surg and ABGs and fluid and electrolytes. Some of you are taking pharmacology. I don't have room for all of that, all those formulas, especially with that one. You have to make sure that bottom value is in minutes. If you put 8 hours on the bottom, you're not going to get the right answer because we're looking for drops per minute, not drops per hour. Okay. All right. Boom. The provider orders 1,000 mLs of D5W to infuse over 5 hours. The drop factor of the administration set is 15 drops per milliliter. Calculate the number of drops per minute to infuse the solution. So if it doesn't say micro set there, will be inexact. Yeah, just like this one. You was put on my FYP by faith. Okay. I am in nursing school and have a dosage test. You got to get 100. Let's do it. Let's get it. Oh, y'all, I want to pause too. Let's pause. Hold on. Here, if you're new here, welcome. I have resources like the conversions and how like they're set up so that you can see them, because a lot of you just get like this big huge chart and it's just like conversions. So like I kind of grouped them together and like put them in aspects that kind of make sense. Okay. The way that I'm doing this with the puzzle pieces and the goal and how you do it step by step for all these different types of problems, I've written it out for you step by step so you can print it out. There are practice problems on there as well, and I'm loading some as the week continues. So take advantage of these free resources. Tell your friends, tell your homies, tell your cohort, share. We want everybody to pass, right? Okay, so what is our goal here? What is this asking us to find? We are looking for drops per minute, right? Goal. Why does this keep doing that? I don't like this. I don't know. Ever since I've like updated my iPad to iOS 18, it's kind of funky. I don't know if I like it or not yet. I like it on my phone, But, okay. So, what is our volume? Our volume is 1,000 mLs. And it goes over 5 hours. Okay? So, they go together real bad. Keep them together. That's one puzzle piece. All right? And so, then the drop factor is 15 drops per milliliter. And that's all that we were given, right? It's all our puzzle pieces. If we are looking for drops, what are we starting with? We are starting with our drops. Drops. Okay. All right. I'm back. All right. 15 drops per ml. All right. Boom. We've used that puzzle piece. So now we've got milliliter on the bottom. So we need milliliter on the top. So we'll do 1,000 mLs over 5 hours. Milliliters crosses out. I got hours at the bottom. That's not part of the goal. I need minutes. So I'll do 1 hour is 60 minutes. Hours crosses out. And now you've got drops per minute. Boom, baby. This sounds like a stupid question, but will you have to do these conversions while nursing? Sometimes. Sometimes in life, you have unexpected cybersecurity attacks on nursing week. Of course, and you have to resort back to paper. Or say you're making the big bucks and you're flying in that airplane trying to save somebody's life while they're going and being life flighted. And you've got critical drips, your pressors and everything else that's critical in the ICU that's flowing, and you're up in the air. You need to know it, don't you? You might be in the OR. You might have an emergency. Sometimes epinephrine comes as percent solution. It is not labeled as, your milligrams. You need to know it. So, yeah. All right. I'm trying to see what you say. I thought you'd put 5 hours over 60. What? Okay, I'm trying to think. 5 hours over 60. Why would you think to put 5 hours over 60? Like, where did that come from? Let's do 15 times 1,000. Are you trying to convert? I don't convert jack squat. Do you hear me? The more steps that you take before you start setting up a problem, the more mistakes you can make. Just like with some of the weight-based stuff that we'll do in a couple of minutes here, I don't convert nothing. I know that 1 kg is 2.2 pounds, and whatever it is going to be what it is. That's got to go and mingle with all these other numbers, and we going to round at the end. I'm not going to mess with that weight. I'm not going to cut off. I'm not going to round up, because when you get the shit, I let the math. I just go for what I know, make sure that everything is in the equation that's according to the problem, and you're good money. Yup. So, yeah, we got 50 drops per minute. Oh, shoot, Toki. Hey, congratulations. Another successful dosage exams. Yay, you're welcome. Who is Dr. Bailey? Oh, I like supporting other folks, too. So if you're in prereqs, Professor TK, the chemist, great with math and chemistry. If you're doing like your pre-nursing stuff, and you got to take your TEAS test and HESI and all this math prep, GOAT. TEAS test, math prep, and then it's a GOAT at the end. She's good for that. With breaking down nursing style questions and NCLEX strategies, test taking strategies. The boot nurse, who is Nurse Kevin, and Nurse Glamber, they tag team together. If you're trying to see which way to go, ask different questions about nursing, the programs, how to make more of your nursing money once you graduate. The night nurse 305 TV, Nurse Larissa, all of those are just jewels. All right. Do I only do dimensional? I can do more than dimensional, but I heavily push dimensional and stress dimensional, because you can do it for every problem the same way. You see, we haven't deviated from what we've been doing this whole night, except for that not BSA, that fluid maintenance level problem, right? Because it was different. You had to do it because there was a specific formula. We're doing the same thing every single way. I mean, the same way every single time. So this is how you practice. You choose one method and you do it the same way every single time. And even if you're not strong at math, dimensional analysis is going to carry you through. We're just solving puzzles. What's the goal? Well, what goes with each other? What's together? What's not? And even if you don't know what information to use, it won't fit in your puzzle if you start with what it is that you're looking for. See? I got a med and fluid calculation test tomorrow. This is more helpful than my professor. Suavecito. I'm weak. So they let you use calculators in class? They should. There's only a rare occasion where I had somebody said they had to do it by hand, and I was just blown like, pew. All right. We have to make 100 on our math comp in order to continue med surge. So I'll be booking with you. Okay, Ash. Chef Ash. Hey, how you doing? All right. So this is what's called a reconstitution problem. Okay. So reconstitution is big word, for taking a powder, adding a liquid to it, shaking it, and making it a liquid. That's it, okay? So there he is. I talked him up. It seems like every time we talk each other up, we come. Go ahead and pin yourself, Kevin. That's the guy who I was talking about during the nursing strategy, the question strategies. And he comes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and shows you how to break them down and gives you the rationale. Because that's how you learn how to apply and critically think. Okay, so what was I saying? Boom. Reconstitution. The only thing that you have to do is concentrate on the concentration. That's it. No matter how many milliliters you're adding, how many grams is in the bottle, how many milliliters is in the bottle, we want how many milligrams per milliliter, how many units per milliliter, milliequivalents per milliliter, the buts per dots, okay? After it has been reconstituted. Okay, so let's look at this. The physician orders drug A, 0.25 grams of medicine. All right. So the medicine is supplied as a powder that comes in a 5 ml vial. Instructions indicate to add 4.6 milliliters of sterile water to mix the powder to yield 500 milligrams per milliliter. Okay. How many milliliters will the nurse administer? So the first things first, what are we looking for? What is the goal? That's the first thing we always do because the goal is going to help us out. Hey, how you doing? We looking for milliliters, okay? So what in the world did that do? You see how it changes stuff? I don't know if I like this or not. ml. Okay, so what is the fluff? The fluff is going to be this 5 milliliter vial. We don't care. This 4.6 mLs of sterile water. We don't care. What is the concentration? Concentrate on the concentration. The rest of it is fluff. Okay? So this is our ordered amount. This is how much we're trying to give to the patient, 0.25 grams. And then we have a concentration of 500 milligrams per milliliter. So now we'll just set it up. If we're looking for milliliters, we start with what we're looking for, okay? So we'll flip this one right here, ml over 500 mgs. All right, so now we've got milligram on the bottom. Can we put a gram on top of a milligram? Because that's different by the factor of 1,000, right? Remember the 1 gram cookie, the 1,000 crumbs, and then the little nano bits of fluff of residue. So you can't put a milligram and a gram on top of each other and expected to cross out. So this is where you would put in a conversion. So if I have milligrams on the bottom, guess what? I'm putting milligrams on the top. So mgs will go on the top, grams will go on the bottom. I know that 1,000 milligrams equals 1 gram. So that's how you know how to set your problems up. What's on the bottom has to go on the top. We're crossing out everything except for the milliliters. We started with the goal, so we know that we already got what we're looking for, so everything else that comes behind it has to go. Is it making sense as we keep doing these problems? If it's making sense to you, double tap that screen and put a 1. Okay, somebody somewhere. I feel like I'm getting to the part of the sermon where they starting to hoop. Okay, so now we've got grams at the bottom. All right, so we have this last puzzle piece, 0.25 grams, and it's not with anything. It's living single, Khadijah, Regine, Maxine, Sinclair, before she married Overton. All right, boom, grams crosses out, and you've got milliliters. Yep, and that's that. So what we'll do is, all right, 1,000 times 0.25 divided by 500 is going to be 0.5 milliliters. Whoop, whoop. Let's see what y'all saying over here. Your voice keeps coming to my mind when I do dosage calculations. I feel like people say that about Professor D. I love when she fusses at people, but I try not to fuss, but I get enthusiastic. Good. So you know, like, what's next? What's the goal? What goes on top? Can you explain the fluff part when you're done solving? So yes, the fluff. I'll unerase it or erase it. I don't know. Anywho, fluff. We are wanting to know what is the concentration of the medicine. Just like all these other problems, or like when you have capsules, parenterals or whatever, or, you know, you're given an order amount and you're given what is the available amount of the drug. So we want the available amount of the drug. Obviously, this is going to be a suspension, right? A solution. So you've got little particles of medicine floating around in diluent, which is in this case sterile water. So we need to know the concentration, how many milligrams per milliliter, how many grams per milliliter, how many floaty medicine parties are in the diluent, okay? So this does not matter. You'll see it and you'll try to stick it in there and it don't belong anywhere. So it's fluff. This doesn't matter. That's just how much you're going to add. Now on the floor, when you're in the med room and you big RN, big LP and whatever it is that you're going for, it matters then because you need to follow the instructions to reconstitute your medicine. But for right now, for all intents and purposes of solving this dosage calculation problem, we want to focus on the concentration after it has been shaken and made a liquid instead of a powder. All right. Can you do a milliliter per hour? I think I got one coming up. It's the way, if you don't master this, organic chemistry will drag the mastery out of you. Yeah, organic chemistry was tough, man. Stop, because I'm learning this in freshman college math and it's so confusing. Yeah. I'm glad I found her page. I'm glad you did too. Welcome. I'm in organic chemistry now. My professor will read us if we don't know this like the back of our hand. Yeah, it's important. Like I learned this is called stoichiometry in chemistry, or they'll call it factor label. I didn't like it when I was in chemistry because I didn't understand it. But now that I'm older and wiser, I would suggest this to anybody. And it seems confusing, it seems long, it seems tedious at first, and then you get into it and there's just no turning back. It actually gets kind of fun. I know I sound crazy because I'm like, oh, I love math. No, I just like doing this because it's lit and you're confident in it, and it's a surefire way to get these answers right. I'm not so confident anymore. Okay, I really have it down now. Thank you. You're welcome. I just got to memorize the metric system. You better King Henry to save your life, I guess. Don't get me started with physics. Oh, see, physics is the reason why I'm not a pharmacist. So I wasn't about to take that prerequisite for the pharmacy program. I passed my dosage exam because of you. Thanks so much. Congratulations. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, Glenda. I have a dosage calc and quiz tomorrow. Cool. Cool, cool. All right, it is fun. I know it's fun, right? Okay, so boom. A nurse is preparing to administer normal saline, 8 milliliters per kilogram, to infuse over 3 hours to a patient who weighs 16 kgs. The nurse should set the IV pump to deliver how many milliliters per hour? And we're going to round this to the nearest whole number. Okay, so what is our goal? What are we looking for? Asia, I was just doing my homework and watching your videos. Cool. I'm glad you're here. Hopefully this is making sense to somebody. Anybody. All right, so yes, our goal is going to be ml per hour. Okay. All right. So what are our puzzle pieces? The things that go together, the things that are ordered, the weight, all those things, okay? If they're together, keep them together. If they separate, keep them separate. So we know that we need 8 mLs per kilogram. Okay? And then it is to infuse over 3 hours, okay? And the patient weighs 16 kgs. Okay. All right. Boom. So, why is this like this? I don't like, you see, it just changed. I don't know. All right, boom. So, if we're looking for a milliliter, all right, and that's the first thing, that's what we're going to start with. So, our puzzle piece right here has milliliters in it. So, we'll do 8 ml over kg. Boom. So now we've got kgs at the bottom. It's not part of the goal, so we know we need to cross it out. So we've got 16 kgs just chilling by themselves. So we'll put it over 1, and so now your kgs cross out. So we got milliliter at the top, and we need to have hour at the bottom. Didn't this tell us it needs to go over 3 hours? So we'll put 3 hours at the bottom. Why am I putting 3 hours at the bottom? Because that's what the goal told me to do. That's how we solve the puzzle. So now we've got milliliter at the top and hour at the bottom. We are not doing any type of math here. We're just putting stuff in place and crossing it out. So do you see why I like this a lot? So now we can do the math, okay? 8 times 16 divided by 3. And that's going to be 42.6 repeating. And if we round to the nearest whole number, so everything to the left of the decimal is the whole number, we will go 1 decimal place to the right. If that number is 4 or below, it's a no-go. If it's 5 or more, we raise the score by 1. So then we know that it would be 43 milliliters per hour. Baby, baby. Oh, what you say? Get money. Makes dollars make sense. Come on, nurses. Nurses coming. Defeat dosage all 2024. I love it. Oh my God, stop. This made so much more sense now. Good. Good, Jazzy. I'm glad. You made it so crystal clear. Thank you. You're welcome. Maybe a stupid question, but how do you round to the nearest 5 ml? It's not a stupid question, but I'm trying to figure out what they're asking. Yes, I do private tutoring. I'm trying to think. I haven't forgotten about you, Farm Bay, but I'm trying to see what is this trying to ask me to find. If you go to my website, here, and take off resources, you'll get to like the main site, but don't try to book through there because you won't be able to, because I don't have my booking open. But you can send me a message, you can email me, you can DM me here, and of course take advantage of the resources while you're there too. Can I do another one? I don't know if I have another one like this one queued up. If you put 43 on a test, it would be wrong because you left the units off. Did I leave the units off? Oh no, I wrote milliliters per. Oh, you talking to me? Or are you just saying in general? I think they meant 0.5 mLs or to the whole milliliter. Is that what you're saying? That was the rounding instructions on one of my exams, and I had no idea. And it said, and it wasn't a 0.5, it was to the 5 milliliter. So you would, I think maybe like in 5 milliliter increments. So if it was closer to 45, I don't know you got to ask them and then report back, because I'm clueless on that one. I've never seen it said round to the nearest 5. Like what? Because if it's 43, it would be to the 5 because it's almost at the 5, right? But if it was like 42 and below, it would be closer to 40. I don't know. If you round 43, it'll be the 4. Okay, Angel. Okay, so we were on the same kind of, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay. Do I got heparin drip problems? You bet your by golly, wow, I do. Can you do a problem with tablets and dose every so hours? I think I got something like that coming up. Hold on. I don't remember what I put tonight. I know I got about 3 more questions. Hold on. Let's see. I do. We getting to them. Okay, we're getting to them. All right. For those who have test tomorrows, did we go over some of the stuff that was on there? Maybe in no trailing zeros. Yeah. I passed my competency with a 95. Hey, like, go ahead. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. A nurse is preparing to administer Med V for 40 milligrams per kilogram per day by mouth, divided in equal doses every 8 hours to a patient who weighs 85 pounds. Available is Med-V to 250 mgs per 5 mLs. How many milliliters should the nurse administer per dose? Okay, and we're gonna round to the nearest whole number. So this is where it gets real. So after desired or have, don't desire no more. You've got to figure out what you desire, what you have, and how to go through it. So, what is our goal? What is this asking us to find? If we didn't pass with a 90 or higher, we had to take it again. But you ain't got to worry about that now, do you? Go ahead. Walk in victory. I love it. So what is our goal? Our goal is milliliter per dose. Now, if it was just plain milliliter, it wouldn't have said anything else after that. But we want to get the whole thing, okay? So our goal is ml per dose. We want to have milliliter on the top and dose on the bottom, because this could have asked us milliliter per day, milliliter per minute, milliliter per hour, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you give the question what the question wants, and that's how you're gonna go through your question and pick out the puzzle pieces. All right, so this is what's called a weight-based problem, because it depends on the patient's weight for your dosing. So we need 3 P's. We need the patient's weight, we need the prescription, and we need the product, which is the concentration of the medicine. So our patient weighs 85 pounds, right? Okay, our prescription is this: 40 milligrams per kilogram per day. Now check out my melody. That is the whole amount in the entire day that they want ordered. Okay, that's not for a dose, that is per day. So if we go on to finish reading, it says it's divided into equal doses every 8 hours. So this every 8 hours part is what's called a frequency. A frequency is how often you give a dose in a day. So it will have either every in front of it and then blank hours, or it'll have BID, TID, QID, or it will tell you in divided doses, in 3 divided doses, in 2 divided doses, okay? Since this has day right here in our order, Okay? We need to know how many doses are in the day because we need to divide that number by how many doses, right? So therefore, we will look at the frequency. It is not fluff in this case. We need it because we have day in our order and our goal requires dose. So the next puzzle piece we're going to put is going to be in relation to that every 8 hours. So if you have 24 hours in a day, and you give this medicine every 8 hours, how many doses will you have in a day? 24 divided by 8 is going to be 3 doses. So in one day, you give 3 doses. Does that make sense? That's how we use the goal to navigate which parts of the puzzles or parts of the problem that we pick out. Okay. All right. And then the last P is your product. So that's your medicine that you have on hand. So 250 mg's over 5 mLs. All right. Oh, okay. Let me see. We have to y'all been like going and I've been talking, so sometimes I don't see the comments. I'm sorry. We have to make 100, but we get 3 chances. Okay, I didn't get not one math problem on my NCLEX. Yeah, Glenda, I didn't have a lot either. Come on, and I'm so proud of you. Congratulations again. You divide by 3. Yes, 2 nights in a row. Thank you for blessing us. You're welcome, Triana. You're welcome. Okay. So boom. Right. We're going to start with that 250 milligrams per 5 milliliter. And we're going to flip it because we want our milliliters at the top. Right. We start with what we're looking for. We don't have to go find it. So boom. 5 ml over 250 mg's. So we've used that, and it's easy to cross stuff out as you go along, okay? So now we've got milligrams at the bottom. We need milligrams at the top. So we'll do 40 mg's per kg / day. So they all 3 go together. You keep them together. That first part is on the top. The other 2 are on the bottom, okay? Milligrams crosses out. Now I've got kg and day at the bottom. You see how I'm looking at my units as I go step by step, comparing it to the goal? That's how you do this, okay? So then we've got kgs. So we've used this. So now we've got kg and day. So I'm going to take kgs, right? I've got a puzzle piece with pounds, but I need kgs. So I'm just going to throw in my conversion. And I'm going to let the math. So 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Boom. My kgs cross out, and then I'll put my 85 pounds on the top, and I'll put it over 1 because it's not in relation to nothing. It's just by itself, right? Pounds crosses out, kgs crosses out, milligrams crosses out. Now I got day at the bottom. I need dose. So my last puzzle piece will be 1 day is 3 doses. Days crosses out, and now you have a milliliter per dose. Boom. Another one bites the dust. I love it. I feel like somebody's got a breakthrough tonight. I feel it. I feel weight lifting. I feel burdens lifting. I feel freedom. And I feel stress and anxiety being alleviated because this don't have to be the end of the road for your nursing journey. Not tonight. Not today. All right, so 10.303030, right? And it says we're rounding this to the nearest whole number. So 10.3 is going to be 10 milliliters per dose. Can the church say amen? Amen. And let the choir sing. Woo! All right. And you already knew the conversion for kgs to pounds, right? Yes, Anna Banana. I know it like the back of my hand. If I don't know nothing else, I know 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. So what did you multiply? Oh, okay. For those who have not seen, and I'm going to make a video on this real quick too. I don't know tonight. I'll make one about how to do the calculator trick. So you see how this stuff can get long, right? And if you write it down, try to put it in the calculator, write it down, try to put it in the calculator, you might miss a zero. Remember, a lot of steps you make, the more room for mistakes that you can make, right? So I keep everything inside the calculator. So I'll do all my numbers across the top, multiply. So 5 times 40 times 85. I don't put the ones in because they don't make a difference, okay? Then boom, divide. And all of your numbers across the bottom, but you put divide in between those. So 250, divide, 2.2, divide, 3. And then you hit the equal sign one time, and that's how you get your answer. Try it. Let me know if you like it. You multiply straight across. Yep. I think my hardest part is converting or memorizing the conversions when they're not stated. So that comes with practice and just kind of visualizing and grouping them together too. You got me, Chef Ash's back. Love it. How many of y'all got that right? The math is math and it's clicking now. Okay, Miss Chica in California, yay. I love it. Love a good light bulb moment. I swear I do. All right. And sometimes it take a moment, but that's okay. This doesn't come overnight. Okay? Do I do shorthand? Are you talking about desired over half? No. I will. But for the most part, I do all my problems the same way. All right, a nurse is preparing to administer drug C to a patient who weighs 70 pounds. The medication reference recommends 7 milligrams per kilogram by mouth every 12 hours. How many milligrams should the nurse administer per dose? Would ChatGPT make some work? Yeah, but I don't know. You have to... I go to Quizlet first because they have some good questions on there. Nurselabs.com has some. I'm posting some. I don't know if I go chat GPT. Like, I don't think it goes into depth unless you have like a good prompt. I'm not good at AI. I've discovered. Like, I made my bow by using a good, you see, y'all like my sweatshirt? So yeah, I craft on the side. That's my therapy. Woo. All right, so if you have a good prompt with AI, then yeah, you might get some good questions out of it. But if you type what it is that you're looking for on Google, like weight-based pediatric problems Quizlet, then a whole bunch of sets will pop up. Or you go to nurselabs.com. Yes, because, okay, knowing the conversions is the basics, because if you don't know that, you won't know how to get your answer. I haven't done dosage anything nursing school yet, but I want to get from, yeah. So that's where you start, Anna Banana. That's where you start. You're welcome, Tressa. All right, so boom. What is our goal here? What are we looking for? What are we looking for? She said ChatGPT don't know how many R's are in strawberry. Yeah, like they don't make like an image. Because like I said, I try to, I craft on the side and I make things. And so sometimes they'll have like a third hand just coming like out of something. I'm like, oh no. What am I looking for? See, I'm up here talking too much and I'm not even paying attention to my goal. My goal is milligrams per dose, okay? Boom. Milligrams per dose. That's what it's asking us. So what are our puzzle pieces? So we've got our patient's weight, which is 70 pounds. It's by itself. Keep it by itself. It's single. It does not have to equal anything, okay? 7 milligrams per kilogram. All right. That's what's ordered or recommended, okay? And that is going to be given every 12 hours. All right, so I want to talk about a ghost that's in the room, okay? And I'm not talking about the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. I'm talking about the dose ghost, okay? So if you have something like this pop up, okay, and there is not any indication on how frequent it is to be given, like per minute, per hour, per day, it is per dose. That dose ghost is there, but you just don't see it. Just like the coefficient ones are in front of your units, there's a dose ghost. Okay? Glenda, don't you start. So that is per dose. Now you could write per dose if you want to, or you could just let the ghost just be there, okay? But that is 1 dose. So, are we asking for a milligram per day? We are looking for milligram per dose. So we don't need to know how many doses are in the whole day. We don't need to be concerned with this part. Okay? That's how we use the goal to figure out the puzzle pieces. Does that make sense? Okay, moving on. So, if we're looking for milligram, we're going to start with what we're looking for, okay? So, we'll do 7 mg's per kilogram, and that is dose ghost, right? Boom. So now we've got kgs at the bottom. I need kgs at the top, but I don't have kgs. I have pounds, so I'll just insert my conversion. So kg crosses out, pounds at the bottom, and now I put my pounds at the top. I'll put it over 1 because it's by itself, and that's going to be milligram per dose. Would it state day if that's what it needed to calculate? Yes. You only give the question what it is asking for. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't laugh at me, Shelf Ash. You know I be a little woo sometimes, but yes. Give it what it's asking for. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So we'll do 7 times 70, not 700. 7 times 70 divided by 2.2. And I got 222.72. All right, so let's practice rounding. What if we wanted to round to the nearest tenths place? What would our answer be? We don't use the 12 because it's only asking for the dose. Boom, you got it, Anna, banana, bobana, ram, bam, banana, Anna. Exactly. 222.7 sure would be milligrams per dose. Always label. Won't you divide the answer by 2? You divide it by 2.2 because you got your 2.2 is on the bottom. We don't need to use the other 2, which I think that you're thinking about, which is the dose, the frequency I meant, because that milligram per kilogram is the amount per dose. So you already have your amount per dose. You don't need the frequency because that means you got 2 doses in a whole day. It's not asking for the milligrams per day. Okay? Why not round? Because it didn't say. I mean, I didn't put one on there. Sometimes I just leave them open-ended so that we can practice rounding with each other. I'll say, oh, what if we round to the nearest tenth? What if we round to the nearest hundred? What if we round to the nearest whole number? It just, just practice. But if they wanted you to round to the nearest whole number, that would be it. Okay? All right. What's next? All right. A critical, yes, I rounded to the 10th. Carla. All right. A critical IV drip is currently running at 15 milliliters per hour for a patient who weighs 55 kgs. The concentration of the medicine is 250 mgs per 500 mLs. How many micrograms per kilogram per minute is the patient receiving? And we're going to round to the nearest tenth. I'm going to see who's been paying attention to the puzzle piece method, okay? So this might look a little woo at first, but we are going to use the same method that we've been doing the whole night to answer this question. So first things first, what's the goal? What is this asking us to find? It's asking us for microgram per kilogram per minute. Okay, so my MCGs will go on the top. My kgs and my minutes will go on the bottom. Just like how we set it up when there's 3 values in the other problems. Micrograms is going to go on the top. Kgs and minutes are going to go on the bottom. Now note, it does not matter what Glenda, it doesn't matter what order the kg and the minute come in, okay? Just as long as they're there, all right? Okay. So, what are our puzzle pieces? 15 milliliters per hour, okay? 15 mLs per hour. And then we've got a patient that weighs 55 kgs. And then the concentration of the medicine that's available is 250 mgs per 500 ml. Okay? All right. So, if we are looking for micrograms, don't we start with micrograms? We don't have any micrograms, Nursey. What do we do now? You still start with what you're looking for because that's what we do, okay? So I've got a puzzle piece with milligrams in it. So I know that I can convert milligrams and micrograms. Exactly, Glenda. See, look, you up here talking like you scared and stuff, and you up here telling us how to solve it. You ain't right. You're not right. So we'll start with our micrograms. So I know that 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. All right. So now I've got milligrams at the bottom. So I need milligrams at the top, right? That's this puzzle piece. I see y'all over on YouTube solving this. Come on now. 250 mgs per 500 ml. All right. Boom. So now we've got milliliter at the bottom. I need milliliter at the top. So that'll be 15 ml per hour. So we've used this one. We've used this one. Okay. We cross our units out as we go. So let's check. We got micrograms at the top, but we need kg and minute at the bottom. I got hour. So in order to get my minutes, I'll put my hour at the top and 60 minutes at the bottom. Hour crosses out, and now the last thing I need to put is my kgs, and lo and behold, I have a 55 kg piece, and I'll just put it right here at the bottom because my goal wants it at the bottom. Okay, so I've got microgram on the top, minute and kg left, and so now I can solve this puzzle. Look at there. Look at you. You just did a hard critical drip problem using Nursey's puzzle piece method. So we'll do 1,000 times 250 times 15 divided by 500 divided by 60 divided by 55. And that's going to be 2.27272727, right? So, thank you for the follows. Did I just make a breakthrough? Did somebody have a light bulb moment? Please tell me that's what happened. Okay, so what are we rounding to? The nearest 10th, okay? So if we're rounding to the nearest 10th, we start at the 10th place and go over 1 decimal place, right? So it's 5 or more, so we raise the score. So this is going to be 2.3 mics per kg per minute. You did it, Tiriana! Yay! That's what's up. Do I have a conversion map? I don't necessarily have a map, but they're like listed. It's on the website, brntutoring.com/resources. Do I do private tutoring? Yes, I do. You should send me a message and we could link up. Because if you try to go on my website, you're not going to find it. You're like, oh my gosh, it says you're not available. I am available. I just have a particular schedule right now in life. Do you ever actually have to do this in the real world? Some ICU nurses have reported they have had to. Some critical flight nurses have had to. I had to double check heparin drips and bivalirudin computations in real life. Some oncology medicines require that you have to do formula changes. So yeah, It happens. And then, of course, if you get cyber attacked, then heck yeah. That wasn't fun at all. And I thought that was like the most horriblest nursing week gift ever. So yeah. So yeah, what y'all think about it? Tamika, you like the way I teach? Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you so much. Y'all, it's been so cool to be back. I was gone last week. I've been working on some things. Yeah. And I'm gonna be uploading some videos. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, follow, like, subscribe, thumbs up, share, all that good stuff. Because more resources are coming. More practice questions will be up on the website. You don't have to book a one-on-one session with me to access my resources. So don't think, oh, just because I don't study with you, I can't go. No, they're there. And you can print them out. Use them. I want you all to be successful in dosage calculations. Now, you ask me about med surg and pharmacology and all that other stuff, you're going to have to go to somebody else's channel. We're just focusing on the cookies and the puzzle pieces, okay? In your words, boom. I do say that, don't it? Oh my gosh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, YouTubers, I will see y'all on Wednesday. So work it out Wednesday. I'll be back 8:00 p.m. So I'm going to say good night to you all. Thank you for joining in, and the replay will be available